Hey, I'm Brandon with RevZilla, and today we are checking out the Fox Racing V3 RS helmet available at RevZilla.com. So this is the latest and greatest from Fox. This is the top tier option within their line, and I like the redesign on this particular helmet. I think it was redesigned, the original Fox V3 came out in the spring of 2019, if I'm not mistaken. They redesigned this now, and I think it is for the better. I wasn't absolutely in love with the original V3. I thought it was a little bit heavier, a little bit wider than I personally liked. Really great updates to this helmet, which I will get into in just a moment. But before I do, you know how I like to talk about the fit right out of the gate. So let's talk about that. Intermediate oval internal shape here, which means it's a bit more elongated front to back than it's going to be side to side. Works well for most of the American market. I typically wear a size medium in most of my helmets. A medium fits me spot on and very comfortably in this helmet. I measure just at 22.5 inches around the full circumference of my head. I would certainly say this is fitting true to size. Get your measurements, reference that chart, you should be all set. And keep in mind, this helmet will ship to you for free, and we do have our price match policy in place as well, so make sure you're taking advantage of that. Let's talk about the shell. It's a composite shell. It's a multi-composite tech shell. Carbon fiber makes up the main construction there. You're looking at 4 shells and 4 EPS liners with this particular helmet. I like that because it helps reduce the weight and it makes it a bit more form-fitting, because each shell is gonna, or excuse me, each size is gonna get its own shell size. Now the only downside to that is because there's only 4. You've got small, medium, large, and XL, and that's your only sizes within the V3 helmet. So something to keep in mind there if you're running a little bit higher up on the sizing chart there. 2 pounds, 14 ounces in a size medium. I think that's down about a ½ pound in comparison to the previous model, which is definitely a big improvement. And if you look at the overall styling, you may or may not be familiar with Fox's mountain bike helmets, but it looks it's got that mountain bike DNA to it, and I'm certainly happy about that because it helped, reduce some of the weight. I like the overall styling here on the side. We've got the EPP on the side just to help with those impacts on the shoulders and stuff. So I like the overall styling update that they got. It didn't dramatically change from the one that was released in 2019, but it just looks more slim and it is lighter weight. So certainly all around, certainly going to be improvements there. Ventilation, superb. I mean, we've got really large vent right here at the chin, and you can see some more ventilation on the sides of the chin bar as well, which is going to help move some airflow and get that going through the helmet. Towards the top, of course, we've got the brow vents, and then as we swing around to the rear, you can see that you've got some exhaust vents incorporated at the back of the helmet as well. And that's going to allow that airflow to move through the helmet, of course. Now, you might be thinking, well, I've got this big open area right here. Of course, I'm going to be getting airflow through, and you absolutely will. But you still want to cover the top of your head and get that airflow circulating around your head as well to help cool it down. So it is still important to have excellent ventilation incorporated as well, and the V3 certainly does. Now let's talk about the peak visor. This is a magnetic visor system that they've got on here, but they did update it. You've still got plastic screws on the side. The magnetic piece is going to be right there in the center. And the reasoning they're updating that is because when it was fully magnetic, they felt that it would come off a little too easily. So that's why you're gonna see the plastic screws on the sides now, because it can take those lower impacts or, the occasional branch brushing it. It's gonna make sure the visor stays in place. But when it comes under major impacts, or you've got a branch wedged underneath here and you're, booking it through the trails, it's still gonna break away as it's designed to do so, but still maintain that stability and not just come off. They found a lot of racers out there were having little tip overs and then the visor would just pop off, and you don't want that when you're in the middle of a race, especially if you're racing Tomac. That guy is really quick, so any lost time is going to be detrimental to any racer. Simple D-ring closure there. These are carbon fiber, just a little tidbit there. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this liner. Let's see here. I'm gonna grab the emergency cheek pads here. Oh boy, pull these out. There we go. And you can see the contour. Nice thick cheek pads. Obviously those are gonna break in with regular use in time, and because you sweat a lot, I like very thick cheek pads with my dirt lids, because I know that they're going to break in quite a bit with regular use in time. Does take a little bit of wrestling to get those guys out of there. They do have the emergency cheek pad release system in there. So removing the liner system here, the top liner, you're gonna start seeing a dual density compound on the inside. It's gonna be that white and that black material. I'll touch on that in just a moment. Let me wrestle this all the way out real quick. Ooh, those are really in there. So you can see that headliner, very straightforward. Get that out of the way. And of course, we've got the MIPS technology in there. I'm sure most of you are familiar with that. It's designed to help with rotational impacts and allows the helmet to move freely around your head, or give it a little bit of slip, if you will, around your head, which is going to help with those impacts and that rotational impact. You know, by absorbing some of that energy, allowing it to slip, it's going to help reduce, you know, injuries to the neck as well as the head itself. And I mentioned before, we've got that dual density compound for the liner itself, and that is designed to help with low speed and high speed impacts, and it's designed to absorb those energies as needed depending on the impact that is received onto the helmet, and it absorbs that and disperses that energy accordingly. So we've got a lot going on with this particular helmet, a lot of technology. I like the update to the design. It's a bit more low profile, it's a bit more lightweight, the airflow is really nice, and I like that it kind of has that DNA from the mountain bike world, in my personal opinion, with the overall styling. But of course, if you're looking for more details, you can click that info button. That's going to take you over to RevZilla.com, where you can read other rider reviews. And as always, if you have any questions for us, please do not hesitate to reach out. Give our Gear Geeks a call at 877-792-9455, or simply shoot over an email, cs@RevZilla.com. Thanks for hanging out with us for a bit and taking a closer look at the Fox Racing V3 RS helmet. I'm Brandon. Keep it pinned.